All right, it is week 2, the football show. Mike Valenti here, and a chipper Jim Costa there, brought to you by KG Law Firm tonight. Cookies, come on. You're looking spry. Your team played better.
I'm feeling great.
You feel better today. Okay,
A
you
lot
look
better.
Today was a shit show in the NFL. So if you don't mind, let's just dive into 5 big things brought to you by KG Law, shall we? I want to start out. We've now seen essentially 2 full weeks of NFL football, unless you believe something in tonight's Atlanta-Minnesota game or tomorrow Tampa-Houston. I just want to know if you're where I'm at with the top 2 teams in the league, starting with Green Bay in the NFC. Bomb the Lions in week 1. More on them later. But also, letdown spot, 3 days rest, you get a playoff team, bomb the Commanders. And then today, the Bills in a letdown spot off that huge win over the Ravens. Yeah, there ain't no letdown. They took the Jets, they were the pencil, and they put them in the sharpener and ground them to dust. So for me, I think after 2 weeks, I just see a separation with those two. Wanted your take.
Yeah, if you're booking the Super Bowl today, I'd have the Bills out of the AFC. You run for 200 yards today. You don't turn the ball over. They never beat themselves. It's part of why Allen won the MVP a year ago. And then in the NFC, it is Green Bay that's looked the best. And I know the Eagles got their win at Arrowhead today, but Green Bay has beaten 2 playoff teams from a year ago. Their defense is ferocious, and they're getting more explosive plays. You know, Jordan Love, I don't view him the way you do, Mike, but he's impressed the first couple weeks of the season. Right now, the 2 best teams are the Bills and the Packers.
And I think the thing we can kind of have a middle ground on is this. For people to take last year and throw a label, wasn't healthy. Like, look at him now. Now you're seeing 14-yard scrambles. You're seeing him step into throws. He may not be as good as I think he is. I don't think he's as bad as Metro Detroit thinks he is. But for me, yeah, he's back on the ascend. Is that fair?
No, and I think no one could fight us on those 2 teams looking the best through 2 weeks. Now, There are other teams with championship pedigree that are looming in both the AFC and the NFC, and they played today.
Yeah. Okay, go. Let's just get to it. You want to do Chiefs-Eagles right now?
Let's do it.
Let's just get to it. The game just finished up. Eagles win 20-17. Kansas City with a garbage time touchdown late. You start. You're Mr. Chiefs. You're the only one who's on a Kelsey or a Swift who's as close to this situation. You know I had the Eagles. I had the Eagles today minus 1.5, so today worked out great.
Look, it hit for you. I'm happy for you. That game swung on 1 play at the start of the 4th quarter. Chiefs are on a 14-play drive.
Yeah.
And they are cruising. 8 minutes of possession down into the red zone, and it's in and out of the hands of who else but Mr. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and it's intercepted, and it's going the other way. And to me, that swung the whole game because it was tough sledding for both offenses, and they finally got a little bit of zip, the Chiefs did, and they couldn't cash it in for any points at all. So that, getting stuffed on a 4th down, missing a 58-yard field goal, very un-Chiefs-like to not capitalize. But, Mike, they didn't have Rice. They didn't have Worthy. There's another gear for this team, and they continue to play good defense, and that's going to get them in all the meaningful games they want to be late in the season. Same with the Eagles.
It will. I think this is just going to be something now. I just feel both these teams are on the descend. And you're right. I think the Chiefs, we can't write them off. They're going to be a good team. I didn't pick them to win the West. I haven't seen anything out of the first 2 weeks to tell you they're going to. Here's my biggest concern. Look at the quarterback play of each. Mm-hmm. Mahomes, take away the Thornton garbage time TD. Mm-hmm. Doesn't throw for 200 yards. Barely throws for 130.
And how about the Eagles as a team only have 200 yards?
With the stat, and I also shared the stat with you. Jalen Hurts didn't have a ball completed to another human that traveled 6 yards in the air until 10 minutes left in the game. How is that possible? What are you running the ops here? I'm wearing Army gear. Are you a West Point? Is that what we're doing?
Little triple option.
Yeah,
both teams brought the blitz. Both teams brought the blitz. The quarterbacks turned into check down Charlies. It's aptly named a rock fight on the graphic there.
All right. If I asked you between these two, though, who do you have more faith can make a Super Bowl right now? Eagles? Or
Chiefs.
do you still okay? That's fine. You're like a.
And I'm not writing the Eagles off either, by the way. Again, their defense is maybe 1, 2, or 3 in the league. And they have that unstoppable play. And that's the other reason they won today, right? You get on the goal line, you finish. You're killing clock at the end of the game. Where are we going? Tush push.
I'll tell you what they do have, though. It's like they have 2 versions of Chris Jones. When they get Davis and Carter together and they need a stop, they're going to get a stop. That 4th and 1, first of all, I didn't get it. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm tying the game at 13 at home. We're going to do the analytics theater. Don't worry. I've got a series of these today because I feel like the entire NFL was on bath salts. But I'm going to let you grade them. But at that point, it's like, okay, fine. You want to YOLO it out and go for it. You're not going to do the tush push with Mahomes. And what happened? They got blown up. They tried it.
T formation, Hunt
Nuts.
handoff, going nowhere.
Nuts to me. I want to get to the next thing because sometimes you find the joy in the NFL in the least likely places. If I told you maybe the game of the week, well, and maybe game of the first half of the season today, if you just like Clown Car on Fire, Giants-Cowboys. Cowboys win 40-37. Rest in peace, Big G. Overtime, 5 fourth-quarter lead changes. The game starts where the Giants make history. James Hudson, who's their backup left tackle, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 penalties on the same drive. No player's ever done that in the history of the National Football League. He gets benched, promptly has some self-reflection time, tries to fight the coaches. You had Russell Wilson throw for 450. Nope, it's not 2014. Throws for 450. Dak comes back, throws for another gazillion yards, 1,000 yards in the game. Lead changes, turnovers. Malik Neighbors scores with 32 seconds or 25 seconds left. You know what he does? That little celebration. All these people.
Hey, but it wasn't night. It wasn't night because Aubrey hits a 64-yard field goal.
But how? Who are these kids? We need these people drug tested. This Aubrey kid is nuts. And I guess in the post game, he said he feels his range is good to 70. What? How? When I was a kid, if you kicked a 46-yarder, you had a bazooka. 70?
Yeah, but that's what we saw. Little hit a 70-yarder in the preseason. And Aubrey, Mike, they're kicking it from the logo. Like they're in range as soon as they get to midfield. Here's
the issue I take with this. And no, Aubrey is a bit of an outlier. He might be the greatest distance kicker of all time. But the point I'm making is when you do this in conjunction with the new kickoff rules, where Lord knows it feels like every team's starting at the 40, and now all I got to do is get 15 yards, and this asshole's going to come trotting in and pew, 70. Look, the Giants didn't lose because of that today. They lost because Shane Bowen, their defensive coordinator, is trash. What is the point of me handing you this elite defensive line if we're going to play Joe Rossi, Michigan State, off cover? Our DBs are 25 yards away reading a Jane Austen novel. Jim, I'm pretty sure I lost my dad in the middle of the fourth quarter. You lost me in overtime. My dad post-game, here's what I got from my dad via text. Son, I love you, but I have to take a walk to clear my head. My dad did not want to take a walk. He took his walk on Sunday morning. The man exited the house and he took a solemn walk to clear his mind.
He's just pacing the neighborhood. Now, you lost the game because your defense, and you lost the game because Russell Wilson giveth and taketh. I have no idea why he shot down the field on second down in overtime.
Because that's all the offense really boiled down to was YOLO balls.
Okay.
By the way, stat for the Giants, you're going to love this. They have now won one football game since week 5 of last year. They are 0-8 in the division. They have lost 9 in a row to the Cowboys, and they are now 0-2 for the, hold please, 7th time since 2015. Fire Shane Bowen.
That's all. Man.
No. Just move it along. All right. I want to do a young quarterback faith index with you before we get to the analytics cinema, which is what everyone's here for. I'm going to ask you about 5 young quarterbacks. One of them, it's ridiculous to even talk about, but I'm sensing you've got yourself a little good vibes about this guy. So let's start out. All right. We'll get to the Lions in full later, but Caleb Williams, look, I'm just puzzled because, look, on script, it looks great. Then he goes off script. It's happy horse shit. Back-to-back failed quarterback sneaks. How? The interception. Why? But then he'll cut something loose. I'm leaning to I'm running out of patience. I got to be honest with you. I'm leaning towards bust. Tell me where you're at.
I mean, you can't do that
1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10, your faith. I'm going to give you a 4.5 for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm like a 3. So I'm not a Caleb guy, but I just be very cautious. A guy's 2 games into a new coach and an offensive scheme. I'm not throwing him out. My concern is he doesn't play in a scheme. He didn't at USC. He doesn't in the NFL. He was the most sacked quarterback in football a season ago, and they tracked this stuff. Most of them were on him, not his O-line. So they're rebuilding a line, yet he's doing this ad lib, throw to nobody. Like, his interception today was a killer.
It was awful.
It was awful. There was no chance of that ball being caught. He evades Hutchinson. That's the wow factor, right? He can keep plays alive and color outside the lines. But if you're just going to throw it into no man's land, hello, Kirby Joseph. Like, no. That's an issue going back to USC. There's a lot that still needs to be coached out of him before Ben Johnson can download, good habits into him.
Trevor Lawrence, I hated what I saw today. 2 interceptions, including one in the end zone that was brain dead. Could have been a third, got overturned. Then he gets in an argument with Cohen, does the old see. And look, they lose the game. I'm done. I'm out on Lawrence. I got a 2 out of 10. I can't do this shit anymore. I can't. I'm done.
I got a comp for you, and it's not a quarterback. He's Benjamin Button. He's aging in reverse. He peaked at 18 years old at college with Clemson when he won the national title, and he's been aging the wrong way his entire career from that moment. As a national champion at 18 years old to the guy he is today, he looks battered. He looked broken. He had 2 interceptions, including one in the red zone that you can't underthrow that football. I 2 or 3 out of 10.
I just can't do it anymore. All right, we got to be quick on these last 3 because we got to do the analytic cinema with my man here. Drake May. My notes say stud, born leader. I've been a slap for this guy since the draft. I love him. Everything about him. You're 5? 7.5. I think he's going to be a star, Jim. I love him. Big win for them. We'll get to that game a little later. Professional. Everything I don't see in Caleb, everything I don't see in Trevor Lawrence. It's everything you want. All right, Bryce Young. No short jokes. First 2 drives, 2 turnovers, 1 a crippling fumble touchdown. All of the stats today come in garbage time. I feel like all the progress last year has been lost. I'm not ready to totally quit. I'll go 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think it said more about Dave Canales that they didn't quit, but I'm not going to put too much stock in garbage time. 3 straight touchdown drives in the fourth quarter, had a chance to win it. I think he's physically limited. I'll go 2.
All right, the last one, we're going to need to get this kid a crocodile wipe. Cam Ward. People, the positivity, evasive, such praise for Cam Ward. I go, it's week 2 of his rookie year. Did he flash today? Yes. But Jim, go ahead. What are you, a 12 out of 10? You love this kid.
Mike, and the weird thing is I don't really have much of a leg to stand on. He's been sacked 1 million times in the first 2 games. He's thrown 1 touchdown, and he's yet to pass for 200 yards. But on the drive where he scored the touchdown, he had 1 really nice throw down the sideline. The touchdown throw is a wow play. It's a highlight. And he is the number 1 overall pick that no one's talking about. I've seen him flash. He's going to turn the corner. It might not be for another 2 months, but I'd put him higher than anybody else we've talked about on this list.
Just go 10. Just go 10 out of 10. Will you please just 15. Do it? I mean, it's going to be a great pod bid. I just think what could undo him might be his coach, but he's smooth. But overall, no, I'm good. We could say 6 or 7 because it's so early. But no, he flashed today. But he just got outlasted by a better team and by the wily old vet in Stafford. All right, analytics cinema. I have to do this. So the backstory, if you're just watching the show with us on YouTube or other platforms, I'm not against analytics. But I'm not Jim is the mad scientist. Jim, you love these things like nobody's business. For me, there comes a point where I go, you know what? Take the points. This guy, forget it. Oh, actually, the supercomputer says. So I just want a couple of things for you. First of all, Liam Cohen, it's 4th and 5. You're playing a backup quarterback. You're up 3. All right. You got about 4 minutes left in the game. You get a chance to go up 6. You take it, you force the Bengals to score a touchdown. He says, nope, we're going to dial something up at the Genius Center. Thumbs up or thumbs down, Cookies Analytics Institute. That's a thumbs up for you. Okay. So now it doesn't work. Bengals get the ball. Zach Taylor, 4th and 5 from his own 15 with 3:28 to go and 3 timeouts, and you're at home. He goes for it. Thumbs up or thumbs down from the Cookies?
Mike, I loved all of it. I loved all the 4th downs at the end of that game, and you hated it. And I had this moment where, like, I know you're starting to gray a little bit, but I don't want to have to do the thing. It's like the meme where I'm walking the grandma, like, into the nursing home. Like, the game is changing. These are the right decisions. You don't want to be up 6. Being up 6 is a shitty spot to be in. 6 tells the other team, go score a touchdown. Right. And use all 4 downs to do it. If it's 3, they may settle, and I'm trying to win the game. If Trevor Lawrence and the Jags convert, they win the game. It's a kill shot. Goodbye.
Right.
See ya.
But
For
on
Cincinnati,
your own 15, come on.
For Cincinnati, they're playing to get down the field. This might be their last possession. And it turns out they did score a touchdown. So Jacksonville needed to score. They couldn't settle for a field goal.
All right. Now, last one. I got to do this. And I know we're a little over time, but we can play with the length of the segments here. Andy Reid, football genius. 4th and 1 at his own 35 to start the half. What? Why?
It's a yard.
No.
You're
doing a
never
thumbs up on that?
Not to go for it for a yard.
You're doing a thumbs up on this. Later in the game when they could have tied it at 13 and they tried this shit again, come on, give me one thumbs down. You got to tie the game at 13. You're at home. Yeah, I got one. All right, one for Gramps.
There's some instances, like the Colts, they had like a 4th and 8, and they had a chance to kick a field goal.
Yeah, it was wild.
Within 3, you do that.
Today was a wild day for 4th downs. All right, listen. Cookies, you take them to church. We're going to do a complete rundown of these games. Hit them.
All right, so let's tell you about KG Law, presenting sponsor of the football show. If you or someone you care about is injured in a car accident, don't mess around, don't settle. Call my guy Lawrence KG and KG Law. KG Law specializes in car accidents. So what does that mean? It means you're going to get personal attention to detail from someone who's actually looking out for you and knows what they're doing. They're not going to take some lowball settlement offer from the insurance companies. If you or someone you care about is injured in a car accident, it's KG Law. 877-KG-CARES. Visit kgcares.com. KG will take care of you. That's KAJY, kgcares.com.
All right, let's get to the rundown brought to you by Hungry Howie's. We'll cover every game. Now, some of these we covered a little bit earlier, so, don't get chapped if we spend a little less. Like Bengals escape 31-27. Sucks if you had the Jags plus 3.5 like me. The only thing we'll talk about with this game now, we've belabored everything else with the Jags. Bengals, it took less than 2 weeks for Joe Burrow to get killed by that offensive line. Knocked out of the game, pressure all day. Well, I can't say all day. He got killed early.
Yeah. By the way, sounds like a multi-week thing. He was, in a boot?
It's a toe. I mean, it's going to be a major problem. But, Jim, look, at a certain point, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I tell you, he's got to ask out of there. This is going to become like Stafford 2.0. This organization is a disaster. Hey, I got an idea. Let's alienate our best defensive player and our defensive captain and do nothing to help the offensive line, all while getting our potential Hall of Fame quarterback killed. Does that sound like a great offseason? Let's do that.
Historically cheap, historically too patient with coaches, but at the same time, they paid him and all his weapons. He's not asking out. They're just going to have to deal with it.
No, they won, but I'm telling you, they're not making the playoffs. All right, Miami laying 2.5. They took on the Pats today. How'd that team meeting work out? Whoops. But the game was wild. It really was. Headline would be Miami's O-line still can't protect Tua. 5 sacks. He got killed all day. He could have been sacked 10 times. Miami ends up returning a punt for a touchdown, only to kick the ball off, and that goes back for a touchdown. It was almost like the NFL morphed into the Big 12 today. Instead of Pats and Dolphins, it felt like Baylor, Texas Tech. Pats win 33-27. Tua was not bad, all things considered. He wasn't. But they can't run the ball. The O-line stinks. If you can't run it, eventually your drives end. No matter how pretty the stats are, your drive's going to end because these sacks are horrific. And let's face it, Tua ain't going nowhere. And the Pats just outlast them. And all the defensive investments for them. Yes, they've got to get healthy in the secondary. But who made the biggest play of the game to finish the game? Milton Williams, $100 million man. It's a big win for the Pats because I'm high on that team. That would have been a horrible loss.
They needed to get that win. The biggest play of the game, the best player may have been the sideline because Achane steps out on what would have been the go-ahead touchdown and forces them to do it again. That was the play. That was it. Evans shows 92 receiving yards. He needed about, 115?
Sounds about right. Yeah, I think the ball was at the 26, so your math ain't far off. Here's my question. All right, Dolphins are 0-2. Now, they played better today. They played up. They didn't quit totally because they could have. That game started 12-0. Pats missed 2 extra
Only
points.
A matter of time.
Over under on McDaniel being clipped.
He'll be fired.
Over under week 7.
I don't have their schedule in front of me. I'll go just past that.
Okay. All right. Do we agree they're the worst team in the East?
Yes.
The Jets are going to beat that team because the Jets are physical. I know it wasn't the Jets' day today. We'll talk about them in a second. All right. Niners, Saints. I don't have a ton on this game. I put in my notes, this felt like a December 10th game when 38 guys are on IR and it's 2 tanking teams. The level of football was so bad. And the Saints, they're just good enough to not win. I mean, they had multiple chances. I didn't think Rattler played terrible. I hate saying it. I know it was a lot of checkdowns, but go ahead. You have thoughts.
Well, I wanted to highlight the fact that they lose Brock Purdy and Mac Jones steps in, throws 3 touchdowns without a run game. Like,
do you know what that is, though?
What?
I know we don't like him because of the hats and 28-3 in the Super Bowl. It's Kyle Shanahan.
It is. He's done this where he can swap out running backs, and he's done this where he can swap out quarterbacks. Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones. Mac Jones was a guy they liked coming out of that draft. Am I crazy to think he's going to keep them afloat for even if this is a month without Purdy?
No, you're not crazy, because keep afloat is, can you go 2-2? You know, can you go 2-3 over a 5-game span?
And we're already 2-0. So now all of a sudden, I'm
so
painting
go
a picture.
2-2 the next month to be 4-2. Kittle's back, Purdy's back.
Yeah.
No, you're not crazy. It's just annoying because there are these guys, like Kevin O'Connell's one of these guys. I feel like I could give Kevin O'Connell a fire hydrant at quarterback and it would throw for 240. It's just like, these dudes are geniuses. Let's go Bills, Jets. Bills lay 6.5 at the Jets. This was a letdown spot, and the Bills went, no. That's how I think they're Super Bowl ready. I mean, first of all, the Jets fumbled another kickoff. Well, I mean, you released a guy last week. What are we going to do now? Like, come on, Jets, really? The run game that was amazing last week and crushed the Steelers, nowhere to be found. I mean, Breece Hall, 10 for 29. That ain't going to work. They never had the ball, Jim. I think Fields threw 4 passes in the first half. Couldn't get off the field. That's a brutal loss for the Jets because they just didn't compete. And for the Bills, it's the markings of a championship team. You just dust a divisional opponent on the road where you're supposed to be a little bit, empty from a big game last. Unbelievable by the Bills.
We talk about the Ravens as the most diverse, dangerous rushing attack in football. Right behind them is Buffalo. I mean, with Josh Allen and Cook and some of the motions and the sets they'll use, they ran for over 200 yards today, and that's what makes them a complete football team.
It does. Let's go Ravens-Browns. Ravens were laying 12. They could have laid, 24 to be accurate, 41-17. But the Ravens came out flat. They did not come out and dominate. At one point, I honestly felt like Myles Garrett should have filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of the defense because they just get put in these awful spots, and all they do is play. And like Myles Garrett is going to have this Hall of Fame career, and it's going to be totally lost. They shut down Derrick Henry, 11 for 23. They kept Lamar in check, and your result is still 41 points. Block punts, turnovers, fumbles, nonsense. Look, Ravens got it done because they just have that much talent. But they played the way I thought the Bills would play today. That, to me, is the separator.
The only note I have on Cleveland is when do they make the inevitable quarterback change? This is a brutal start to the schedule. Dylan Gabriel got in the game, whether it's him or Shador. I mean, Mike, when they're 0-5, 0-6, it's going to be the conversation.
Okay, you know what? Let me know what week they play Shador, and we're going to bet your cat on that game. I don't know what the worth of a cat is on the black market.
Priceless.
Well, good. Then be prepared to bet priceless. Shador, I don't want to back up Lamar. Well, good. We're not drafting you now. That story's incredible. We'll get to that during the week. Steelers, Seahawks. Steelers were laying 3.5. Yeah, Seahawks said no. We're not falling for this trick. Last week, Aaron Rodgers didn't throw a ball deeper than 20 yards. This week, it was much the same. Rodgers was, old and slow and didn't push the ball. And we have a problem here. This Steeler defense sucks. I mean, Kenneth Walker basically was 10 yards a carry. You got Sam Darnold dotting you for 300 yards. I don't know, man. That Steeler defense is the story to me. They're bad, Jim. That's back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, I'm proud of you because it would have been easy to make this whole thing about Aaron Rodgers sticking up the joint. And look, to be clear, one of the red zone interceptions is in and out of a receiver's hands. It's more about their defense. And how about throwing away a touchdown on special teams today? The rookie, Caleb Johnson, not knowing the rules, throwing a touchdown the other way. No, it's special teams, it's defense. That's the bigger issue than Aaron Rodgers, who we would all acknowledge is just physically limited at this point.
All right, let's hustle through the last 3. Rams, they were laying 5.5 at the Titans. Titans played well. Don't let the final score trick you guys. 33-19. Game was close. They played hard. Cam Ward had moments. Jim, control yourself. Stafford did his thing. The running game wore him down. There's nothing really more to say. It was a business trip for LA, and McVay doesn't lose games like this. McVay doesn't lose the sloppy games. So it's just business trip, move on. I was encouraged by Cam Ward. I was. Good step forward from week 1. Fair?
Yeah, fair. What else we got?
Broncos, Colts. Danny Dimes is making me sick. Colts win. The ref show in this game was unbelievable. I mean, there were like 20 penalties. If you entered the red zone, that it was like Monopoly. Pass go, get 200.
Yeah.
Pass for 20, get a flag. Even the game ended on a penalty with a leveraging penalty on a 60-yard field goal. Also, shout out Shane Steichen playing for a 60-yarder.
He got bailed out.
And you have
He got
Ned
bailed out.
Flanders as a kicker. But the story of the game is twofold. I said this to you last week. I'm going to say it again. Daniel Jones is not a star, but Daniel Jones can take this team to the playoffs. And by the way, Bronco defense, all sizzle, no steak. You're through 2 weeks. Bronco defense is not impressive. The Colts went up and down the field.
Yes and no. I mean, they bowed up in the red zone. They gave up the one big run to Jonathan Taylor, but for the most part, did a nice job on the ground. And if Lutz hits a field goal, all
Fair.
of it with leverage, he doinked it off the upright. So I just thought it was poetic. If you're going to lose it on a field goal, the other team's got to win it on a field goal.
On a leverage.
And that was a close game, both sides.
By the way, at one point in a Bronco possession, there were 4 straight penalties on the Colts in the red zone, 3 on the same guy. We're not here to watch the refs, guys. And the last note, Cardinals, Panthers, Cards laying 6.5. They don't get the cover. Here's the reason. You're up 27-3. You go zombie mode. Bryce Young puts a bunch of garbage on you. All I'll say about the Cardinals, same thing I said last week. It was good enough to win. It's not going to be good enough to make the playoffs. They have got to grow up. They have got to learn how to finish games. That's just my takeaway.
I'm simpatico. Same page with you. Let's talk Lions.
Let's get a word from Hungry Howie's before we get into the Lions and Jim puts his party hat on.
You know, I'm a huge fan of Hungry Howie's, but I'm a lot more than a happy customer. I'm a happy crustomer. Yeah, crustomer. Because I'm all about that pepperoni pizza with Italian herb crust. But don't take my word for it. There's a bold flavor for every kind of crustomer. Garden salad veggie lovers, Howie breadheads, the butter cheese crust crowd. Hungry Howie's has your back. And from September 4th to the 14th, they're showing their crustomer appreciation with 25% off any total order. Order any way you want. The menu's at hungryhowies.com.
All right, let's get to the Lions. I don't know what we call this, the Lions review. It's brought to you by Moran Chevrolet, our good people over there. Jim, I want to give you the lead because this was chicken soup for the soul for you after last week.
It's everything that this team needed, maybe more importantly, what the city needed.
What you needed.
Mike, they didn't just win, they rolled. And they looked like last year in terms of balance, explosives, and they worked backwards. You know, I wanted to see the run game get going. They start with hard play action, and then they got where they needed to, ran for 6 yards a pop. It was everything they did a year ago. It was, hey, we're not just going to beat bad teams. We're going to roll them. That was, I mean, Mike, all facets of the game, exactly what I needed to see.
I think it's a good confidence boost. I mean, you want to feel good about what you're doing out there. And look, I'm not going to take anything away from the Lions. Like, that's what you're supposed to do to bad teams. Check and check. Bears are a dumpster fire. I'm telling you, any hype or good vibes or thought process that team is nowhere close to being competitive. I mean, obviously you lose your top 2 corners, but still you can't look that way. Pass rush is bad. O-line's bad. We talked about Caleb. For the Lions, here's how I want to do this. Give me your singular best takeaway, but then give me the thing that's still angering you a little bit, the thing that you have a concern about, because nothing's ever perfect. I want to see if it matches with mine.
Well, they played as close to a perfect game, so I do have to do a little digging on that. But the best thing to me was Jared Goff in a clean pocket, right? You can say the other team didn't have their corners. He had the time to process. He threw 5 touchdowns. He looked much more in rhythm. When the offensive line does what they did, and it was Glasgow, who I really didn't like in week 1, bouncing back nicely in week 2. Tate Ratledge, the same thing. Clean pocket, picking up stuff, giving him time to go through his reads, and he was polished. My biggest issue, I mean, look, they had 4 sacks, so I don't want to overreact. But when you have to blitz to get home, that's not going to be a recipe to beat the elite quarterbacks on the schedule, regular season or postseason.
And let me say this. Hey, look, not all sacks are created equal. I know what I'm up against this week on the air. We'll get the box score heroes out there. But here's reality. When you get a huge lead, here's the other team has to throw the ball, meaning you get to just pin your ears back. It's not organic. It's not natural. They didn't do anything in that first half. And you're right. By the second half, you felt like it was Aaron Glenn calling the defense. And the blitzes started, and here are the Bears down by a zillion.
Yeah.
Overall, I got to – and again, the litmus test, the next acid test for this team, a week from now, go to Baltimore. Let's see what you got. Now that is what we can grade upon. Today, This was, you did your job, and it was great, and it was fun, and it was easy, and it was okay. We're not horrible. That's what we established today.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't want to move the goalposts. Like, Baltimore's going to be a great test, and it's on the road, and I'm not going into that game expecting them to win. It's why you had to win today against Chicago, and it would have been one of those, if they won by a single point, okay, we've avoided catastrophe. But to win the way they did, I mean, Mike, look at these numbers. They're absolutely ridiculous. 5 touchdowns, 300 yards for Goff. Yep. Gibbs is running for 8-9 yards a carry. He's lethal. It's everything I wanted to see. They forced turnovers, both safeties forcing turnovers in the football game. They got stops on 4th down. Ben Johnson wants to come in and do a Dan Campbell routine. Yep. They stuffed him and made a statement. I just love how this team responded. Dan Campbell challenged him this week. He said, we will win this game. And I needed to see that fight from this team.
And they operated the spite store. It's what I said on Friday. I said, if they get a chance to rub Ben's face in the boo-boo, they're going to do it. And they did exactly that. And I'm happy for the fans.
Did you see, after the game, our very own Jeff Rieger asked him about it?
No, talk to me.
He asked Ben Johnson, he goes, did you feel like they ran up the score on you going for it on that 4th down? And he goes, well, as opposed to what? Rieger said, kick the field goal. And he goes, no, they don't kick field goals. That's how they operate. Like, Ben didn't get all offended, but he was asked and confronted about it.
No, I like that. And that's a good answer by Ben Johnson. All right, let's get a word from Moran Chevrolet before we get to our question of the week.
September, truck month, Moran Chevrolet. Perfect time to elevate your tailgating game at Moran. Number 1 selling Chevy dealer and best game day start. The 26 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4. Lease one at Moran right now. $349 a month, 24 months. Or the 26 Equinox LT, $279 a month, 36 months. Guys, they got the best deals in town, MoranExpress.com, or you can stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. It's Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
All right, let's get to our C4 question of the week, brought to you by C4 Ultimate, available in 3 flavors, frostbitten citrus, tropic tundra frost, and then my Friday go to the cherry bomb frost. Jim, it's electric.
They're great.
You're not qualified to drink.
Dude, I get up at 4 a.m. Every once in a while, I need a pick-me-up.
I need more energy out of you in the mornings. All right, let's get to our question of the week. Again, if you go to the local 7-Eleven, scan the QR code, rifle a question in there. It's a very simple one from Will Martin in Commerce. Simple. Guys, do the Lions win the NFC? And we don't get to say, well, let's let it play out like Jim's co-host does. No, they don't.
Standby.
Yeah, no.
Wait and give the answer when it's decided.
I don't think they do. I think the Packers are just better. Could I change my answer in 10 weeks based on injuries, based on, hey, maybe today's Lions is the Lions? As I sit here right now, no, they don't.
I'd put the Packers 1. I'd put the Eagles 2. Today was a big boost for Detroit. I'd put them 3.
Yeah.
But, again, you got questions to answer along the way. And they're going to play both those teams again this season.
This is the biggest thing, and I'm glad you said that. Jim, it is a week-to-week league. You can be flying high. You can be undefeated. It could be week 9, quarterback's dead. I just lost 3 O-linemen. They're all riding on a tandem bike to the hospital. It's a week-to-week league. So, yeah, as I sit here now, no, it could easily change.
As we sit today, Green Bay leads this division, won the head-to-head. They own the division until Detroit can fight back. If you don't win the division, you got to go on the road in the playoffs. And it's not unheard of to win as a wild card, but you're starting to stack things against this football team early. And it's why that week 1 game was such a big deal.
Evan, can we get a cartoon straw? Because basically where the graphic is, it looks like Cookies is sipping out of the cartoon C4. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Get some of that Blue Lions C4. Okay, and here's the other thing. Jim, I do think reinforcements are on the way. Yes, Josh Paschal will help you. Yes, at some point, God, I hope it's sooner rather than later, but let's say November, Aleem McNeil. Now, ramping up, that's another thing, but there are some reinforcements. And I still, look, I'm going to keep talking about it. Trade deadline's got to be a resource. It's got to be a resource. Brad's got to add something to that defense. I'm not letting it go. It might be Kayvon Thibodeau. Giants might be 0-6. He had a great game today. You want him? I'll give him to you. He can be yours. All right, that is your C4 question of the week. And if you have a question for us, get to a participating 7-Eleven. Look for the QR code at the C4 Energy display or on the cooler. I'm the king of scanning the cooler for beverages. Scan the QR code, ask your question. List of participating 7-Elevens. You can find that list and contest details at 971theticket.com. C4 Energy. It's the real energy you need. 200 milligrams of that good caffeine and performance energy. Or the Mikey special on Fridays, the 300 milligram ultimate energy. Power you through your day, sugar-free, made for athletes and radio hosts. C4 just rolled out 4 Jolly Rancher flavors. If you're into it, go get them. They've got tons of stuff packed in there. It's performance energy or ultimate energy at 7-Eleven. And remember, you got a question for us, fire away. 7-Eleven QR code at the C4 Energy display. All right, Cookies, let's preview Sunday night. Game I'm excited about, brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. Vikings and Atlanta. I love matchups between two young quarterbacks, and it's just like last Monday night. JJ first half, I went, oh boy. Second half, oh boy. It was totally different. Now, the problem is, I think we've pretty much made a conclusion. This Bears defense sucks tailpipe. Problems. Atlanta, Penix did everything. But Baker Mayfield's a superstar, and your kicker screwed you. So, here's the thing. Vikings are coming home. That is that place is a bear to play in. But there are some injuries here that I think change this game. I don't want to be overboard with it, but Andrew Van Ginkel, outside of Grenard, he is their best pass rusher. Harrison Smith is the supercomputer of that defense. He's out tonight. And Christian Darrisaw, their left tackle, they thought they'd have him back. He's not back tonight. I kind of dig Atlanta a little bit. Am I out of my mind? Take the 3.
No, it's up-down theory, right? Atlanta loses a close one week 1. Vikings win an up and down week 1. This is a bounce-back spot for Atlanta and a step-back spot for Minnesota. The biggest question, though, is going to be Michael Penix against the Brian Flores defense.
Yeah.
And I think he has the answer in Bijan. Dump-offs, short pass. If they blitz, lean on your tailback if you're Michael Penix.
You know the funny part, too, with Penix? It almost plays into the Flores defense, which is he doesn't like no quarterback likes pressure up the middle. It's just some guys get debilitated by it. Yeah. Penix is one of them. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out there. The other thing is, look, I mean, I know Drake London and Mooney are playing, but they're both banged up. I mean, there was a thought process earlier in the week. London may miss this game, but they have the weapons. And if Flores wants to get aggressive, take a page out of what the Lions do to the Vikings. Middle of the field. There are voids everywhere. As far as
what I'm hearing you say is it's Kyle Pitts' time, baby.
How many years are we going to do that game?
I know.
Honestly. And JJ, listen, if last week was, I said this all summer, that kid to me is the wild card of the entire NFL. That if he's good, forget about great. If he's good, the Vikings are going to be able to win double-digit games because that's a Super Bowl roster. And he can be anything. Now, I think they got to be careful using his legs because he's tiny. He'll get murdered. But he's a playmaker. You could tell they love him. You could tell they love him. You hear what he did in the huddle last week after throwing the pick six?
No.
He comes into the huddle. He's like Eddie Haskell. Hey, guys, where else would you rather be?
Oh, no.
And the team apparently ate it up.
Sure.
And the rally begins.
I mean, you got it from Harbaugh, and it's that Harbaugh thing. You're quirky, but if you're you, people will rally behind you, man. If you're authentic.
No, truthfully. So, all right, where do you – I want to kind of do a double dip here too because I want your opinion on this Tampa Bay-Houston game. But who do you like tonight? I like Atlanta getting the 3.5.
Atlanta with the points, and I think they could win the game outright. But like we always talk about, if you're betting the game, take your vitamins.
Okay, let's get to Houston and Tampa. Can we do – we can do whatever we want. It's our show.
We got a couple extra minutes. Every week's different.
And I want to talk a little – just because injury report did come out, and it's a crippler for the Bucs. So I go towards Houston here. Tristan Wirfs was at practice. So was Chris Godwin. Both out.
Yeah.
Not playing. That offensive line for Houston, I'm never going to feel great about anything. But 0-1 team at home, desperate spot. Tampa got the big win in week 1 in division. Can they really limp down there and do it again? I'm asking.
I like Houston if we're looking ahead to Monday night. I think the front, I think it gives them an edge against the team missing Tristan Wirfs. I think that's a huge deal. I mean, we know how important Penei Sewell is for Detroit. If I told you, hey, Detroit's going to play on Monday night and Penei Sewell's not going, it would matter. And I know like spreads don't shift that much for non-quarterbacks, but that's a big chess piece that sets the tone for them. No Wirfs specifically against what Houston brings off both edges is noteworthy.
Oh, you mean a team that has 2 pass rushers?
Is that allowed?
You're not allowed to have that.
Learn the cap.
Isn't that where Brad
Why
Holmes
don't you learn the cap, Mike? Why don't you learn the salary cap?
Yeah, well, look, they've got that. They've got it in spades. And I look, this is a big one for Houston too, because CJ Stroud, like, he's awesome, but man, this is like going to turn into Burrow West.
Well,
if this organization doesn't get this right with that O-line, brother.
Think about it too. They lose, that would be 0-2.
Yeah.
At a time where Indy is 2-0.
Which is, again, this division's why Indy's going to trick around and win that division, aren't they?
Yeah, it kind of feels
they're going to win that division. And let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because my team has won Super Bowls that this is the give back? That now you let Danny Dimes go and Daniel Jones is going to win a division and look good doing it while the Giants may just go 0-17? Like, is this what I'm signing on for now? This is what we're doing?
Yeah, but if that was the deal, you would have taken it. You would have said, yeah, I'll take my Super Bowl, and this weird, twisted punishment is worth it.
I know. I gotta check on my dad if he's still on his walk.
Is he still pacing? Are with the street lights out?
I don't think he's still pacing. Listen, what do you want me to say? It was a very difficult week for him. I don't even get mad on my behalf. I get mad on his behalf.
I get it. That was me a week ago. Like, different way to lose, but when your team loses on Sunday, it puts you in a lousy.
Did you take an emotional walk?
24 hours.
Did you take an emotional walk?
No, I didn't, but it's funny. While we were doing the show, my wife did. She goes, there's all these sad men walking around the neighborhood after the Lions game. I go, yeah, it sounds about right. I would have been one of them if I wasn't doing this.
Okay. Give him a word.
Now we get to strut around a little bit and feel good for a week.
Look, and I'm happy because I didn't want to deal with losing to Ben Johnson. I didn't want to deal with panic either where they didn't play well. I thought they'd win this game easily, but not like that. You can't predict 52 to 3 or whatever. It's ridiculous.
But you needed it because you needed to know, hey, we weren't going to collapse because that guy left.
Yes. Last note, and then I promise I'll let you get to the crocodile cloth read. Yeah. But just I know we blew by it. I get way more upset at the officiating in the NFL than I feel like you do. Or do you just keep your rage inside?
You are way more, your outbursts are louder.
I hate these bastards. I can't take anymore. We're not here to watch you. Like, if it's, I understand.
What it really gets you, though? It gets you when it's red zone. Like, because that's supposed to be the zippy, move it along.
How about today in the Chiefs game?
I still can't.
How about today in the Chiefs game?
Yeah.
The long snapper moved the football. How the fuck is he supposed to grab the damn thing? What is he supposed to use? The claw at the bowling alley? It's like we're making shit up. Or if it's a 3rd and 11, to me, the bar to draw that penalty should go up. Otherwise, you're just encouraging YOLO balls. That Indianapolis game was insane with the penalties. Look at the Carolina game. We were sitting here in the, I don't know what the hell Evan calls it, before we go live, the green room, if you will. But it was, Bryce Young had like a 3rd in Texas, and he's 50 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They call a defensive holding. I got news for you. The ball he could have used a drone. The ball wasn't getting there.
No, and it was a little tug on the waistband. It wasn't anything egregious.
That's all. I'm sorry. All right. Now, I promise. Get to the business of the day, and we'll wrap this puppy.
All right. So let's tell you about Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes. And for the grillers out there, this is the key. They've got the Crocodile Cloth Grill. It's what you need if you love grilling, but you hate that cleanup. The Crocodile Cloth grill cloths are the perfect addition to your tailgate. They power through that sticky baked-on grease and food like it's nothing. Crocodile Cloth grill cloths can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, anything that gets messy at the tailgate. 10-inch by 15-inch, they stay wet, they do the job. These are a game changer. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to crocodilecloth.com/football show for a tailgate bundle and a free gift. Who doesn't like free? That's crocodilecloth.com/football show for that free gift with the bundle. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead, get messy.
I'd like to take a crocodile cloth and wipe Brian Dayball's big sweaty face. Bastard. All right. What?
You're one step closer to Jackson Dart. Just hang in there, buddy.
Oh, it'll all be blessed. All right. Lions get back to 1-1. Thank God. Football show week 2 in the can. You guys have any comments, questions, feedback? Give it, man. And we can continue to mold this thing. But I love doing it, man. I love the instant reaction stuff, Jim. I love doing it with you. And we'll be back with you guys next week. And we won't have a Lions game to recap. It'll be so liberating. We can just take our time and then we can preview the game. And I don't have to deal with emotional highs and lows of you.
You love it. Don't you dare. You love it.
I do. And oh yeah. And the Chiefs play the Giants next week. So it's going to be, you're going to be insufferable.
Let's go.
Be like a parakeet. All right. That's the football show week 2. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And we'll talk to you guys next week.